Hey guys, if you were to ask me what's one of the cheapest tricks or upgrades that I've done that has given me the highest payload, I would tell you that it's this. Hey guys, welcome back to the General's Workshop. And about 2 weeks ago, I had one of my audience members wrote this. I would like information on the faux brick on the garage door. Great idea. So let's get right into it. So here's the deal. For me in my shop, the way that it's set up is that I've got garage doors. This one that's actually right behind me, well, you may not see it, but you're gonna have to take my word for it, as well as one on the opposite end, right? I love the design. It's a drive-through or a pass-through style shop in which if I had it set up that way, I could easily get vehicles in and out. You can see I've got this big one down here as well. So here's the challenge that I'm having is that one, the function of a garage door is fantastic. But in my particular case, when I moved into this was in a terrible shape. And so for me, I had to put a lot of work and effort into trying to make it look nice. But at the end of the day, I still had all these holes, these divots that were inside the door. So I went on this journey, kind of this quest to how do I go ahead and make it disappear, if you will. So what I ended up starting off with is I initially did just a coating. Basically, I did paint on it. And although that made it look better, it didn't take away all the kind of the imperfections that I was trying to hide. So after that, I actually even tried doing wallpaper. Now, it wasn't that the wallpaper was a bad move. It's just that I think I did two things wrong. I think one is the wallpaper was a little too bold. So it actually really drew your eye to it. And I think the other thing is the wallpaper that I did still showed all the lines, if you will, the metal. So you still saw it. So then at some point I was thinking through, one, a backdrop. Now, my mind was there because for every year we do this, we do an event for the Band of Brothers in which we come out in costumes. It's like an overnight event where everyone has their own costumes on. And I purchased this backdrop just to kind of set up so you could go in the picture, get your picture and look like more authentic. And I started thinking, well, what if I did something like that for my shop? Well, that's when it occurred to me. I went online, I started searching and trying to grab a backdrop that would work. Now, two things. One, I did get a couple backdrops that I thought were just too aggressive. And here's what I mean. I think the best backdrop is one that disappears or you don't necessarily even know that it's there, right? So when you take a look at this over here, there is a high probability that some of you that were watching this, and just be honest, did you realize that there was a backdrop up on this garage door? For a lot of people, it's subtle enough that it just disappears. And that's exactly what you want. In my particular case, I ended up getting a 10-foot by 10-foot backdrop, which was ideal for this garage door here. Two, you might be thinking, well, how are you fastening it? And obviously, mine still has the lines from being folded. I haven't ironed it or I haven't steamed it, and I don't even know that I will. I don't even know that I really notice it that much. Hats off to you. I think it was Stuart Cord, 1642. Hats off to you for even noticing that it was there. And I think that's just a testimony to it's doing its job. It's not standing out. It's not too bold. Now, you might be wondering if you're going to try something like this, you'll notice that I've got a full backdrop here, right? This one simply is attached with office binder clips. These are the larger binder clips that I'll show you. In fact, if you're interested in the binder clips or even something like this, I'll include it down in the description down below. I'll have a link down there so you can at least get a start on searching for it. Now, if we come over here, you'll notice that I decided not to do a full one because one, they don't make them big enough so that I could do it over the entirety of this door because this one is much bigger than that one. But you'll notice what I have done is the United States of America flag. And I do love this. This one is bold, right? I believe that I don't necessarily need a big one just because this draws your eye to the flag and you kind of forget about all the metal around it. You forget about all the holes that are in the insulation, etc. So there's a few different options that you can do that will draw your eye or at least pull it so that it's not focused on all the imperfections of the door. And honestly, most of the time we do something where we complete it up to about 95% and then we forget about the rest of it and we say, good enough, or we just never get back to it. But the reality is here, This is that last 5% that I think is amazing. And honestly, you could pick up these, like this 10 by 10 backdrop that I have here was right around $27. I got that. Binder clips, you know, I've got 4 of them. So that's honestly just under $1, if you will, if you buy them in bulk, that is, right? You can have that up and you can totally hide that. It works amazing. And the other cool thing is, especially on a flag like this, I love this. You're gonna actually wanna see this. Let me show you when I open the door how it looks. I don't know why I think this is so cool, but I don't attach it on the bottom, just on the top. So as it's opening, the flag is actually coming towards you, almost like it's becoming a little bit more three-dimensional. Oh, the things we love. And then it kind of makes it stand out just a little bit more loud and proud, and that's something that I just absolutely I love and I adore, so it's pretty cool. Now guys, as this one is closing, this one naturally hangs and does everything without me having to touch it, without me having to do anything as far as fluffing it. But I will say, if you do end up going with a full size, like on the other side, that one's a different story. That one, I have to manually grab it and go straighten it out, etc. It just is quite a bit different. So I love it because this is a way cheaper version of than a permanent solution. And so for you guys, if you have an ugly garage door that you're just simply trying to make disappear, then go for it. Try this. Give this a try. I'd love to know down below if you guys, what design you ended up going with. In fact, I'd love to see pictures of it because I am considering that far side of getting 2 of these to being able to cover the whole thing and then still having the flag there. I think that would be a good look to one, just kind of drown out the background but highlight the flag at the same time. So if you've tried this, let me know. I've seen so many different variations of it. I've seen adhesives, I've seen vinyls with sticky back that people have done. But again, I love this because it just makes it totally incognito. Now, before you guys go, I want you guys to check this out because I am super excited about this tree fort. It is turning out amazing. I know that most of you think that this is probably just for looks, but it is so much more. The loft build is almost nearing completion and everything has turned out fantastic. So go and check out this video and I'll show you a little bit more on how we built it. All right, you guys, so this week, actually tomorrow, I should be getting in the Japanese futon that'll go right here. I've already built a little shelf right here, and then I'm gonna get rid of this light, and I'm gonna actually probably make a DNA lamp / light bulb, but this should be finished soon. So if you wanna go back, see the build process to get caught up, so when we do put out that last video going over the loft build / treehouse, now you know where to go. Check it out. Huh. You have something right here. Just right there. Got it.